Salam family, this is Unity and I'm here to do a Unity moment. So I was watching a movie called Bird Box on Netflix, and it was one of my beautiful subscribers, one of my sister's supporters told me I should watch it. And then I seen a fellow YouTuber, TAREN guy, but she now called her name Auset. I can't pronounce her last name, but she's Auset now. And I spoke about her in my lock video too, so go back and check that video out. And yeah, and I put the link. I put the link in the description box. She did a breakdown of what the movie called, Bird Box. So when I kept seeing this, everywhere I looked, I kept seeing, y'all, I'm packing some orders while I'm talking about this. Everywhere I kept looking, I have a whole bunch of orders to pack up. I kept seeing the movie Bird Box. So I went and watched it. And it's weird because what Taryn was saying, I agreed with a lot with Taryn. I'm not going to tell y'all about the movie as far as like spoilers and all that. I'm not going to tell y'all. I'm going to say a couple of things, and then this video going to be like a really short video. But when I seen that Taryn did a breakdown, I said, let me go look at this movie. Because she the second person that came to me and said I should look at it. Well, not she didn't come. She just popped up it popped up in the feed. And then another person said it to me, so I went and looked at the movie. So as I'm looking at this movie, I start feeling literally like I couldn't comprehend for some reason. And that was one time before that happened, but let me tell y'all how I was feeling. I start feeling like, where am I watching? I start feeling nervous. I start feeling afraid. Usually when I look at movies, I'm the one that know what's going to happen before it happened, which there was a couple of scenes in there that I knew was going to happen before it happened, but I don't know. Like I say, one time before I felt this way is when I was really, really sick with the fibroids, and my iron was so low that I had to go have a blood transfusion. And I remember looking at a video of Minister Farrakhan, and I remember start getting angry because I couldn't comprehend what he was talking about. What he was saying didn't make sense to me, but blood wasn't going to my brain, so that's the reason. And I remember start getting frustrated and aggravated with him because I couldn't understand why I couldn't understand what he was talking about. And I started getting mad at him. I remember that. And then I ended up going to the hospital. This was a couple of years ago. And they had to give me a blood transfer. My blood was, they literally had to put me in ICU. So that was the first time I felt that way. I'm not sick now. So, but I did watch the whole movie. And the weird part, when the movie went off, I'm like, okay. What's next? Like, that's how I was feeling. And then when I looked at Taryn, Auset breakdown, and I looked at Auset breakdown of it, everything she was saying I already kind of knew because I'm naturally unconsciously study metaphysics. So she kind of broke things down, and then I start opening up. I didn't agree with everything she said, but a lot of things I agreed with. And I don't really want to go so deep into the movie because I just don't. But I get it now. But my main thing is I'm trying to figure out why I felt this way about this movie. I felt afraid. I felt anxious. I felt nervous. I don't know if some of them was doing their own stunts. I did hear Sandra Bullock say that she wanted to bump into trees. I was picking up all that shit. After I watched it, I was literally weird. I was weird energy. It was weird energy. And you know, one thing Taryn did say, she said in these movies, they would keep saying, they would keep doing movies in different forms, but it'd be the same message in the same movie. So it was so weird because in the midst of looking at it, I was like literally like a 2-year-old. I was lost. I was sick. I was nausea. I was literally lost. I couldn't comprehend nothing. And like I said, the only time that happened to me is when my blood was low. That's the only time that happened to me. Y'all look at all these labels. I got so many orders. Thank y'all for being patient. Because a lot of people don't know that this stuff has to be made. And the ones that do know, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And people contacted me and asked me if I'm going to have another 5. I don't know when, y'all. I got bum rush. Those orders took a while to get out. Ooh, that was heavy. So I know I'm going to do something for y'all. Another sale. But I don't know if it'll be a 5 for 5. Maybe a 3 for or a 2 for 20 or 15. I don't know. We'll figure out something, y'all. But I do got some giveaways coming up. But yeah, so that's mainly what I want to talk about, Bird Box. Most of the movies that they now, since I'm out of that state, I was literally like you know, in the movie, I can't say this, in the movie you have people that was mental. So I literally was like a mental person that lost it. They was in a straitjacket looking at the movie like, not picking at mental people because we all mental, especially in this society. But that's how I was. I couldn't comprehend. It was like I was looking at it and I knew some of the things that was going on, but I was confused. It was like my brain had shut off on certain levels, and I'm kind of like in the movie Get Out. It was like I'm watching this, but I couldn't grasp it. I couldn't understand it. And for some reason, I wanted to see what they were seeing. Like I said, I don't want to spoil the movie for y'all. So I don't know what that's the second time that happened to me. And like I say, that first time is when I wasn't getting no oxygen to my brain. This time was like really weird, jittery. And if y'all look at one of the videos I did about Santa Claus is coming, I don't know if that has something to do with it. This weird energy. But it was weird. So it's like, it's crazy because, let me just say this. When Taryn, because I know I'm a messy brain. When Taryn was breaking things down, it was like everything started coming back to me. And I didn't agree with everything she was saying. But I did agree with majority of what she was saying. She's before Taryn started being in her spiritualness, I seen it. I seen a lot of that in her way before, because it was little things that she would say when she used to be like a natural hair guru. And I was like, okay, she won. I just kind of knew, and it's like seeing this transformation of her. She was always one. It's just manifest out within the last couple of years. So she did a really, really good job. Like I said, when y'all get a chance, go check out Taryn's guide. Her name now is Auset. I can't pronounce the last name. Queen, if you're looking at this video, please correct me on your the pronunciation of your last name. But I know Auset because we know Auset. The spiritual ones know Auset, and even the ones that's not spiritual should know who Auset is. There's a lot of people that don't mess with that stuff, but they know who Auset is. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to say about Bird Box. And I did, like I said, I don't want to talk about the movie like that because, oh, you know what? One thing I can say about it. A lot of times y'all notice like artists, musicians, poets, people that's creative, they already be cut off from, they be already be disconnected from this illusion of a world. For instance, I remember I was talking to, this was years ago. I have another one packed. I remember I was talking to, this was years ago, a friend of mine's, a family member of mine's mainly. And we was just sitting on my porch. And I just looked at her. And it was like people outside playing, cars riding by. It was just different stuff going on. And I looked at her. And that was my first time realizing that this world was an illusion world. It wasn't the original world that it's supposed to be. It's a world that been made to be this way, to appear to be this way, but not the original way. And I don't know what it was about that day. And ever since that day, when I said this to her, she looked at me, and she a young sister. And she said, Ifreko, I'm gonna give you a shout out. If you remember this, I looked at you and I said, it's like we looking at an illusion. And she looked at me, she said, oh, you right, it does. And I can't remember what I said after that, because it was so long ago. This had to have been probably like, my son is 8, my baby boy is 18 now. So he had to been like 3 or 2 or 4, right up in that area. 2, 3, 4. So it's been a while. But as I realized at that time that this world was an illusional world, a world that was made, not naturally made, but physically made. The doctrine, all that. This world is made. As time went on, more pieces to that, me saying that this world's illusion has confirmed. And maybe one day I'll go down into it, because I got to put everything in perspective. Y'all know how my brain be. The ones that been watching me. But I just noticed that a lot of people that's artists, like some for art, okay, like I'm an artist, I'm a poet, I'm real creative, all that type of stuff like that. But I notice, like me, sometimes I get lost in time, or I shut myself off from the reality, and I don't even know what's going on. And a lot of artists do that. We be disconnected. And I can't think of what Sandra Bullock character name was, but she was like totally disconnected. I related with her character as far as the art, as far as being disconnected to a lot of things. And I connected with that with her, because me, even like dealing with people, I can cut a person off like really quick, and it just don't be no connection no more. And I notice a lot of poets and artists, people that's real creative, done that. Like Michael Jackson is, for instance. He's that type of, he was like that. Like he just closed himself off, and he be in his own world. He created them, because remember he created Neverland. So if y'all look at the movie, y'all see what I'm talking about, as being disconnected. And I could get that way, because I created, just like they created illusion of a world, I create my world in my home. And when I go out in the world, it be like, this is the illusional world again. I hope I got that out right. If not, I hate that word, hope. I pray that I got that out right. I don't know, it's something about certain words. To me, hope, maybe, fear, it's like those words seem like they keep you stagnant. I don't know. So y'all check Bird Box out on Netflix. To me, it's kind of like a Get Out. It's kind of like a lot of these movies that quote unquote awoke people. I can't say that, but I'm telling you, for some reason, it's something was with me looking at that movie. I literally was like something was wrong with me. Like I couldn't comprehend what was going on. It was like my body was trapped, but it was like Get Out. It was like I was inside looking at it, but I couldn't express how I felt about it. And I just felt afraid while I was watching it. And I felt And for some reason, I kind of wanted to see what they were seeing. But I felt like I wouldn't have committed the suicide thing. I guess I kind of told y'all something about it, but it was weird. I need to meditate on it to figure out what that was. But like I say, and I'm gonna say it again because I do repeat myself a lot, is I'm trying to figure out the only time that I felt that way when I couldn't control my thinking is when I was close to death. So whoever created this movie, even though we done had different movies saying the same thing, it's just a different form. They done tapped into something. All right, y'all. Salam, salam.